the biggest creators. All new Marvel Now, the best characters.
All new Marvel Now, point one, number one.
It starts now, your one-stop entry point to the Marvel Universe by 6 of the hottest creative teams in comics.
On sale now, Marvel Now, Marvel.com. Welcome, dear listener, to our podcast. Jeff and Rick present Unpacking the Power of Power Pack,
where we journey through each issue of comics that include a member of the most underrated Marvel series from the 80s while drinking beer.
analyzing awesome and amazing adjacent adolescent adventures and absorbing alcohol.
I am Jeff.
And I am Rick.
A random banter, also known as a jersey or a jumper, is worn by players of Random Union or Random League. It usually has short sleeves, though long sleeves are common as well. Random banter time, buddy. Talk to me, tell me tall tales and tantalizing tidbits of trivia today.
Talking about Flynn's rugby jersey, aren't you?
I am talking about Flynn's rugby jersey. You are very correct. Well done, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I bring up sad news on my side. I found out the other day, like 8 o'clock in the morning, one of my friends from high school texted me and let me know that another friend from high school had passed away over the last weekend. And this, it's surprising. You know, we're about 50. I guess that we've since come out that he had a massive stroke this last weekend. And he passed away. And hit me a little bit hard because this is somebody, Chris, who I hadn't talked to in 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. But in high school, we were close friends. We actually did a lot together, and we ended up working at Wendy's. I got a job there. I was like, hey, I got a job there. You need a job. I know that. And so he started working there. And man, when we used to close down that store, we would just have these massive water fights and just a lot of fun. We always had a lot of fun together. We were in theater together. We won first place in mime for the state of Oregon 2 years in a row. Just random. And we were very proud of it. 2 years in a row, we held that title, junior and senior year. And we just knocked out of the park both years.
Yeah.
The second skit that we did, somebody from OHSU had saw us perform it, and they asked us to record it because it was called What Surgeons Really Do. And he wanted to record it so that he could show it to their students as kind of a comedy relief kind of thing. We're like, yes. He went into the military after high school. I saw him during my winter break, and I said, God, he looks like he's got it together. And after a couple conversations with him, he went with me down to the recruiting office. The only reason I was in the Army Reserves is because of that guy. The only reason. The only reason I met my wife while I was in the military was because I was in the military because of that guy. It has been a very difficult couple days for me that I had somebody who is so impactful on my life that I just have not spoken to for over 20 years, and then I find out that he's passed away. And it's no,
you won't be able to.
It's very sad and very humbling to me. And as I was thinking about talking about this, I was like, I don't want to bring it all down. There's going to be some way I can tie this all together. I don't know how. I think that I had started to collect some Marvel trading cards at one point in time, and he saw them, and he said, hey, let's go in and buy a box together.
Was this the old the trading card, the art cards? Yeah, I've got a bunch of those. Yeah.
I have the first 3 series, 90, 91, 92. I have complete series of those. And one of those sets was completed or nearly completed based upon us going in together on a box and making 2 whole complete sets. Random thing. So it's just been a weird couple days for me as I'm struggling with the memories and the feelings I have for a friend who was taken too soon, and his family has lost their father. Yeah. He's got like 4 kids that the family has. I haven't seen him in 20 plus years, and I just hadn't had the chance to tell him that I appreciated him. And I don't have that opportunity anymore. And it's sad. It's very, very sad.
It's weird how that works. It's strange how, like, the dominoes of life will fall, where it's, like you were saying, because of him, you got into the Army Reserves, which got to your wife, which led to all these different things. And the aspect that, because I've experienced this too, I've experienced loss, and the fact that there's people that you're like, I'm going to think about you, but I can't talk to you. Yeah. Anymore. But there's that aspect too where you're like, you haven't talked to this person in 20 years. There's a good chance you weren't going to ever talk to him in 20 more or ever again. However, there's that, it's now that lost opportunity where you're like, but I now want to. I had wanted to. It would have been great. It just didn't. So, yeah.
As I think about it, as I talk about it, I look up and I've got a wall that's got a random stuff here. You know what's above my wall on my computer.
Oh, yeah, lots
of little stuff. There is something up there. There is a pin, a Star Trek pen, metal Star Trek pen. He gave that to me. And that has always been up on the wall in one of my rooms wherever I've lived, ever since the time he gave it to me. We were graduated high school. I think it was somewhere in that last summer before I took off to go to college and he took off to the military. And he knew that, I think that he knew that all of the stuff that he had was just kind of going to go away.
Yeah.
And so he gave me, because he was a big Star Trek fan, he gave me this metal Star Trek pen. And he's like, I want you to have this. And I've always kept that. It's always been there. It's one of those things. One of those weird things in life. And it's got me thinking. But I was able to pull out that recording of us doing that mime all the way back from 1994. And I digitized it today. And I sent it off to his daughter. I was able to contact with her through GoFundMe, and I sent it to her. I said, please share this with your family.
Oh, that's neat.
Because I don't know if they ever saw it.
Yeah.
Don't know.
May not have.
I don't know.
But...
I can't see him holding on to those kinds of things. I don't know if that was in his nature to do that. I don't know if he had that anymore. And so I don't know if his family had ever saw that. And I thought that would be interesting for them. That's my sad beginning to our show. What do you got for me, man?
Trying to figure out a topper on that. So, I know what I can talk about that would stick with the mood. So, I watched Predator Killer of Killers, the animated movie, last night and today. And neat, fun, enjoyed it. It is done by Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey. Had you ever seen that?
No, that's on my list. Predator. Yeah.
It is good. That is really good. That is kind of frontier time Native Americans encountering Predator and how that goes on. That is awesome. So done by the same person. So in that same universe, this is really good storytelling. It starts off with Don't give me the beat of it, because now I want to watch it. And then it ends with hunting. No, okay, I won't talk about it then, but it's really good. It's well worth watching. The stories that are told in it are good. Predators are neat. Well worth watching. Watch Prey, watch this. They do tie together in a way. I've heard good things about it. I've seen a lot of people comment on it. And you say it's animated too, right? Yeah, this is animated. Okay, and it ties in. It fits very well, and the characters are neat, and the storytelling is cool. All right, cool. So, since it's on your list, I won't spoil. I will just say... It's neat. It is well worth watching. It is on Hulu or Disney Plus right now. I will add that to my pile and see if I can't get through that really quickly. But for now, we need to get through another comic. And in order to do that, you got to give me a 2 cents replay of last episode. While in the middle of a rescue operation in New York, Pixie has been checking her social media and decides to kidnap Quentin Quire, Finesse, and Stryker so that they can go and potentially save a new Inhuman girl that was exposed to the recent mass release of Terrigen Mist on Earth from committing suicide. They get there in time and then get to hear her social media-driven account of her experiences since she emerged from her Terrigen cocoon as a lightly feathered teenager who can fly, and why that drove her to attempt suicide. Now that her younger brother also is a recent Inhuman and is currently tearing apart an apartment building, 2 sentence replay is over, why don't you give me a beer and tell us what our Power Pack pick is? Roar! That's a beast for reach into the bag and see what I got you. That was startling and terrifying. You seemed like a rage-filled pre-teenager. Yeah. You have Laguntus, the Beast of Both Worlds, Bi-Coastal IPA. Petaluma, California, 12 fluid ounces. It is a red can. It has got a big dog monster tearing apart a bridge, probably the Golden Gate Bridge, while a helicopter circles and sees the experience. The monster it's terrifying. Because Flynn is a little rage monster who is going to break some stuff, and he sucks. Beast of Both Worlds by Lagunitas Brewing. It's a bi-coastal IPA. What fresh freak of nature is this?
Hazy flavors without the haze, West Coast hopping without mega bitterness, quite the contrary, kaiju towering before you, double dry hopped with a fruity blast of citron mosaic, yet finishes super smooth. The beast is truly the best of both worlds. Release the hound! And like Jeff says, of course I got this because of Flynn, the beast of both worlds. He's human and inhuman.
He's two things.
He's a teenager and a preteen.
He's all sorts of stuff. We're not fully sure of his age, but he's younger than Fiona, we're figuring 16. Story time in the can is be responsible, please recycle, 21 years or older in USA.
Now tell me that is just a perfect beer right there.
Ooh, that is honey gold.
I've got my beer with just the right amount of head, the right amount of liquid, right up to the top of the glass. Very honey gold. I think that's a good description.
Yeah, that is just a honey amber gold color. It is beautiful smell looking. It's got like a very thin head. It's really nice. Very pleasant, sweet aroma to it. It's like honeysuckle.
You come up to it and you're waiting for that IPA hops hit and it starts to come, but then honeysuckle.
Yeah, that is a very pleasant smelling beer. It looks beautiful. It smells delicious. And Rick is making a happy kind of face, or like a, ooh, what am I thinking face. Let's find out what face he's making by drinking myself.
In the immortal words of Jack Nicholson's Joker, stop the presses. I like that.
Interesting.
That first taste is very sweet. It is that promise of honeysuckle. There is flavor in there. There is some floral notes.
Yeah.
The hops are there, but they are being layered with the sweet, the floral, the nice, super smooth finish. The
hops to me kind of come in on the back half of the flavor where I'm tasting them and my tongue is kind of getting that little prickly kind of crunch on itself thing, just minorly.
Yeah. No, I like this.
I try to avoid saying floral notes because that to me always reminds me of like lavender and rose. It reminds me of soap kind of flavors, which I don't like. However, I really want to say floral notes on this, but it's more of that like honeysuckle, that kind of like sweet aroma. It's the not floral notes where it's just, it makes you think of something that a bee is going to pollinate.
It's the honey that has been textured and layered with the lilac, the lavender, the other things that are in the wild field in front of you.
Yeah, it's very much wildflower honey kind of thing going on.
I am very happy with this one. This one is not a harsh teenage beast. This is a mature, thoughtful college student that's done its homework.
Yep. That's, I'm very curious how this is going to age out in a year, in an hour.
Yeah.
But liking it so far. But yeah. That really has some unique notes that I haven't experienced in other beers before.
Yes.
Which is oftentimes in an unpleasant way, but this is in a quite pleasant way. So congratulations. This one's good.
Yes, it is. For now, though, let's get into the opening credits of this book. Jeff, if you please.
Inhumanity, The Awakening, issue number 2, March 2014. Credits: writer Matt Kent, penciler Paul Davidson, inker Paul Davidson, colorist Jean-Francois Bilou, letterer VC's Joe Caramanga, editors Bill Roseman, John Mosaine.
Featuring Pixie, Kid Omega, Finesse, Stryker, Fiona, Flynn, and a moment of Julie Power.
And we are back, so let's warm up the old social media ticker and private blogs.
Also, start up my apathy and skepticism.
Hang in there, little buddy. Remember, it's just a comic, and you should really just relax.
Thanks, Evil Frank. Okay, let's dive into this new chapter and see what fresh hell awaits us.
We have a continuation of the conversation between at West Coast Avenger 69 and at Miami Mutant Girl along the top of each page. We also have a new journalistic voice, Flynn, the annoying younger brother of the last issue's protagonist, Fiona.
Flynn hates his older sister. The reasons are obvious. She is bossy, always in his business, controls the TV, has the better room, eats all the Oreos, gets him in trouble, turns into an inhuman before him. You know, typical sibling stuff.
All reasonable sibling complaints. But there is one caveat. Only he can be mean to his sister. That is a law or something.
He knows the guys who assaulted his sister. And now that Flynn has leveled up with flight-like jumps, strength, tough skin, and a can-do attitude, He is ready to cause damage.
He also has the ability to draw attention to himself. Or at least there is one nosy neighbor grilling some hot dogs who spots him jumping through his roof and leaping across town, who captures a picture of him, then posts it on social media, 'cause of course the nosy neighbor does.
So now we are caught up with the end of last issue where we saw Flynn crash into the apartment building where those two punks live. He somehow causes an explosion/fire, endangering a lot of people's lives. But that's okay, because he's an angry kid with superpowers.
Look, he pulls the rubble off of one of the bullies and allows him to run away with the threat of worse to come if he ever even talks to his sister again.
While the building he and a lot of other people live in burns down.
Well, the police and fire are on the scene.
Oh goody, more potential injuries.
And the news is there, because we need more information feeds rushing in about this event.
The reporters managed to interview the two bullies that attacked Fiona, and they, being who they are and all, just blamed Flynn for wanting to destroy the whole town while claiming absolute innocence in starting the whole situation.
Fiona and the super teens are watching the news. Fiona then explains the lies these kids are spewing and sticks up for her younger brother.
Be that as it may, Little Terrorist is missing and has been found guilty in the eyes of the court of public opinion, and the news and the followers of online feeds. And he probably is still a menace to the hood. So off to find little bro!
Pixie ports the people into a pine place to peruse for the problematic, probably teen person of punching powers.
And with all of the people there, Miss Socially Inept and Awkward volunteers to find and chat with the newly powered up teen.
Hey Rick, she just goes by Finesse now.
My mistake.
Finesse manages to subdue him with words instead of fists and lets him know that this is not broken. It's just a mildly sprained situation.
And while Flynn does not try to fight her, yet, he does put up some defensive words. Explain that he was just so mad that he wanted to really hurt the punks.
Not being a lawyer or anything, I still think he should probably stop saying that out loud.
Finesse does manage to say something that sets off the young kid, and that starts the fist a-flying.
Okay, just think about this for a moment. We have a trained superhero who has fought alongside the Avengers for years. Her power is to learn and mimic the moves of others. She's fighting against an aggro child who developed his powers earlier tonight and is wearing a rugby uniform.
Kid pounds dirt and air while Finesse delivers some sweet chin music and a mule kick to Flynn's calf.
Epic fight, this is not.
Good news, we now get Finesse's backstory. Let the sepia tones commence!
Apparently, when she was a young girl, Jean was not popular or well-liked. Kids are cruel and stuff to the exceptionally skilled and socially awkward.
Because she had nothing better to do, she watched the Game of Death on repeat, which was cool because she started to copy the moves and whipped them out on her bullies.
Excellent! From there, she went to look out for some teachers to learn more cool stuff. Top of that list, Taskmaster.
Hey, he's got powers like Finesse. I wonder if he is her dad. I wonder if he has a good and caring feelings for his daughter.
Have you ever read anything with Taskmaster in it? Dude, the guy is a jerk. The biggest thing that Taskmaster taught Finesse was how to take a punch and to suffer disappointment.
Okay, that's sad and stuff. But why are we here?
So here's the thing that she is getting at. Finesse did not have a family. Flynn does, and his mom and his sister. And, hey, that's a good thing.
Back in the present, story time is now over. Now it's time for the siblings to talk out their feelings. Sorries are exchanged, and fond reminiscences of beating each other up are now quaint memories. So touching, so wonderful.
Yeah, great. But the fuzz are on the way, and we gotta come up with some kind of cover story.
Never fear, Finesse is here. But she needs a distraction.
What is the sound a psychically constructed shotgun makes?
Probably whatever sounded once. Why do you ask?
Quint inquired, Pump actions his double aught and states that it is his bag, baby, and runs off to cause some mischief.
Stryker reminds him that he is a good guy, and he probably should not kill any cops. Probably.
He's gonna go slaughter the police, isn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Well, we just see him shooting some shots in the air and causing a diversion, so we'll just move on from that.
We will with a wrap-up.
The insurance adjuster shows up and writes a check to cover all of the damage that the Terrigan-tainted teenager caused.
Objection, Your Honor. That is such bull.
Okay, we are moving on. There is more than damage to the house. There is the disgusting rotting pods that the teens hatched from as well. How are they going to unload these things for a profit?
How about selling them on eBay? Ka-ching!
Yeah, that'll work. But what about the kids? What did they do with them?
Well, they get some help from Tiger to get them placed. Or try to. Flynn kept drooling on the test as he just stared at the feline fighter.
In the end, he ended up at the Latverian school. Because, evil and stuff.
Fiona has not made a choice on a school yet. She is trying them all out, which is cool because she gets to sit next to Julie at the Avengers Academy, which means we get to talk about this issue. Hooray.
Hooray indeed. And in the end, the kids still have to clean rubble and take breaks looking at social media. So that's what we've learned, kids. Goof off at work and check your phone to see what other people are doing.
Because that is how you make friends and influence people. Ka-ching?
Ka-ching.
Okay, themes of this issue. We have got another cover that has been done by Jorge Molina. We like the last cover, and I still like this one. It's a nice 1-2 combination. The first one we had this person breaking out. This one we have the person stepping out. Again, we have Finesse, Stryker, Pixie, and finally we have Quentin Quire.
Yeah, so the team's all here. And again, it looks like it is literally seconds after the other issue cover. It looks like Krakoan Age, Birthing Chamber, except this time, instead of the people looking on in shock and awe, they look enraged and are ready to fight and destroy whoever came out of this egg, which looks like it is a long-haired female.
Yeah, but not Fiona.
No, not Fiona, because there's no feathers. It kind of looks like it has the build hair kind of appearance of Magic. So I think it's a blonde gal with long hair.
Okay.
Could be anybody. It doesn't really matter. It's a nothing cover.
Like I said last time, I would like to have read this comic instead.
That would have been whatever is this cover is covering, it looks like a good comic.
Yeah.
I would like to read that as well.
So what did we just read? What was this?
Oh, it was the awakening of a great disdain for Flynn in my heart, because anytime his stupid face was on a page in the comic, I said, boy, I hate his stupid face. And then when he's at the Latverian school and his stupid face is there happy because he's learning how to get stronger, he's still wearing his rugby uniform, and I hate his stupid face.
He's got a punchable face. I want to say, and this may be controversial, but I want to say I was not as upset with this issue as I was with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a purpose. We had a reason. We knew that there was trouble. We knew that this kid had woken up from the egg, anger in his heart for what happened to his sister, a boiling rage monster that caused damage, and they were going out to deal with the problem. They used mostly words. That was the idea. It did come to a little bit of fisticuffs, but there was a point and purpose that was occurring here. We had a story from one of our heroes that was more in line with what's happening, and we had a little bit less of the annoying other social media stuff. We still had the reporters on the scene, but we didn't have this blogosphere that was coming in. We still had the chevrons across the top, which still were absolutely pointless.
Distracting, annoying, and I hated the aspect, too, that it went from, like, a troll and a idealist, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist, and you're dumb, and I bet you're lied to all the time, to them liking each other, and now they're online dating, and he's gonna come visit her in Miami because his family's going down there sometime. What? What?
They went from two polar opposites to traveling on the merged lane of the freeway of peace and unity, which rarely, if ever, happens online. It's the goal of what you think you can do by talking to somebody online. But if you try to talk to either of those two sides, you are never going to get them to come together in the middle.
No.
That doesn't happen there. The people that come together in the middle are the people who are closer to the middle than either of these two people are.
Yeah.
It's a fairy tale idealistic world that's being presented there.
And again, it still had distractions in it.
Yeah.
Because the troll, West Coast Avenger 69 dude, was all about like, oh, this was a conspiracy. I saw a documentary about it. It wasn't a gas explosion or a meteor that hit this apartment building. It could have been this. It was something crashing in. And the girl's all, well, who cares? It doesn't matter if something crashed in or crashed out of it. It was probably a kid that lived in that apartment that got powers and freaked out. And it's just like, okay, you're confusing me with what's going on, because then after that, Finesse is like, oh, I have an idea, but we got to... So it became a muddled mess on that part.
Mm-hmm.
The Finesse story bit that she told of her past, I was invested in that. I liked that. I thought that was really good, and it tied in well. Way better than Stryker's. But still, it's just a muddled mess of things, and stuff happened for reasons that,
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know where we got here or how we got here. I like the concept of something that did come from the prior story, the hunt. We have all these schools, and here's a great opportunity for this known universe of schools where you can take these kids and say, what is your flavor? Are you like the Avengers? Are you more like the British schools? Are you more, we can find a school that fits your style. I like that.
That was neat.
That idea.
Because they did a little showcase of the schools going, you could go to these. And they specialize in this. This one, the egg school, Pan-Asian school, they specialize in like information and gathering and sorting. And then there's like the West Coast Avengers is social media presence and cosmic threats. Wakanda's about like the natural world and animalistic order and stuff like that.
They have some specialties that they're doing. I like that aspect. And yes, Flynn ends up with the School of Evil because, of course.
He was excited about the Terrigen Mist because he was like, oh, maybe it's nuclear war and I'm going to be like a lone Avenger walking the wasteland. And he's...
But I like this too because it also takes something like the Inhumans and the Terrigen Mist, and instead the Inhumans coming down saying, no, we are taking you for our own and we're going to train you on our own. It's saying, no, these are citizens of the world, and they've got some choices here that they can have. So I like that aspect, too. I like the aspect that Fiona's going around and trying different schools.
Yep.
But we never see these kids again.
No, you don't really need to.
Again, would have been interesting. Would have been fascinating to see. But they go away, and then we're not going to see them again. In the end, I don't know what we're really left with here then, because we've got something that's come out of Infinity the Hunt, and we've got this 2-issue storyline, which is frustrating and angry. And I almost would have liked to have seen this be maybe a better constructed 5th issue of The Hunt. Mm-hmm. Because it's a continuation of it anyways. It's written by the same person.
Unfortunately, it is, yet at the same time, it's not. But it is so close, because even in Infinity the Hunt, issue 4, they're advertising for this.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, up next on sale now is Inhumanity, The Awakening.
And it starts right from it.
Yeah.
It starts right from it. And it would be a good postscript for what's happening with that.
It could have been an epilogue.
We are dealing with this, and we're dealing with the introduction of these new kids who've got powers. So here's us finding a couple of the kids and how we place them in the school. Mm-hmm. That would have been a nice 5th issue. Otherwise, we don't need this.
No.
We don't need it.
No. We don't. There was a story here that could have been told, but what we were given didn't need to exist in its presentation state.
But there are things, like we said, that we did like. Vanessa's story was really cool. The placement of the kids, the seeing of the other schools again. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like those aspects. I like those pieces of it. More of that kind of stuff would be cool, please. Let's explore more of the real universe of the 616 and all the people that live in it and the schools that are built up around it. I like that idea.
Well, the thing that was confusing with the end for me on this was it seemed like they were back, the heroes that were saving people in New York. It looked like they were back in the exact same positions in place doing their things.
This took a day, and all that destruction and stuff was still occurring.
Still going on, but it seemed like almost cookie-cutter the image that was there, where, like, there's the Moloids, there's Pixie leaning against the thing, checking her phone, there's this stuff going on. It was little differences, but it was very, very similar. So
the more things change, the more they stay the same.
The more they stay the same, and those kids are going to save people in New York. Because apparently a day later, the rescue efforts are still going on, so their little dereliction of duty didn't affect anybody's lives, I'm sure.
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about this, let's get into our final thought. Let's get into the Gallery of Greatness. What piece of artwork are we going to stick on to the rotting egg before we sell it on eBay? Well, my backup joke one is near the end of the book, after the mom comes home and finds the bathroom with the disgusting rotting egg there, and she's like, ew, nasty. And that was my backup joke one because it said teenage bathrooms, am I right?
Yep, that is my joke backup one as well. It's on page 19 of Marvel Unlimited, and I called it Pew.
Yeah, yep. Teenage bathroom.
Very nice.
Very nice.
What's your top joke?
My top joke one is on the opposite page there, and it is Quentin with a shotgun.
That's a good choice. That was almost made it for me. Made it for me. However, there was something much better that I had to pick.
It made me laugh. I'm just like, Quentin Quire with a shotgun. That just makes me laugh. It's a normal thing that we see now. I don't know if this was kind of one of the where they started really using it, but it's a nicely drawn shotgun too, I've got to say.
Yeah, the shotgun looks great. Quentin looks really odd, but he also looks like Quentin. You know who it is.
Yeah. That's
a great choice. It was on my list, but it got usurped by the image on page 6, which I call hot dog.
Yep, yeah.
Because this is after the guy grilling in his backyard and taking a picture of Flynn jumping across town, and he looks all like wiggy looking at the picture that he just took while holding a barbecue fork with a hot dog on it. Hot dog.
That guy with the hot dog, that is a cousin of Ernest P. Worrell, isn't it?
I don't know who Ernest P. Worrell is.
Know what I mean, Vern?
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
He definitely could be.
Okay, that's just what I saw.
What a joke for you cut that you've made.
All right, let's get into our good art, our top good art. And my backup good art is Burninator. It's Punchable Face Boy.
I almost did that, but again, I hate his punchable face, so I didn't want to give him any credit.
It is so punchable, but at the same time, I have to say this. I love the artwork because you see what has happened to his body by being turned. And you see the anger and just rage on his face. Plus, it's a teenage boy. It is a putty and a face in the making.
Yep.
So there's just a lot going on there with the flames and the smoke. I just find it to be a very good picture.
He's very veiny. His villain hero name should be Vascular. Yeah.
Horrible name.
It's what he is. He's got veins popping out all over. He's very vascular. He's a physical being. But yeah, braces, just all that jazz.
What's your backup good art?
My backup good art is the top of page 15, and I call it Daddy-Daughter Time.
I call that one Sword Show. Because it's the entire page with that. What you got there is you got Taskmaster's arm sticking out with the sword that he's holding going down, and it bisects the page on one side, and that is pretty darn sweet.
Yeah, it makes framing for other panels, and it is in the hand that he is punching Finesse with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wonderful. It is great. I really, really like that. So I'm guessing that's your top?
That's my top one there, yeah.
All right, then I will move on to my top, which is on page 14, and I call it Game of Death.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because this is Finesse talking about all the other kids used to make fun of her and just tormented her and stuff. And so she said she basically just got met with cruelty and fear, so she started mimicking it back. And she made imaginary friends that couldn't hurt her, where she's becoming friends with Bruce Lee in Game of Death, where she's then beating up kids with Bruce Lee moves.
Yeah, I think that's good choices all around, and it makes us not punks. Whereas Flynn says, a few guys at school, they live in town, I know the punks, and that is rubber and glue moment. Mm-hmm. The best or most childish insult in this book. I was surprised. There's not as many insults as I thought there would be in this one.
Not really. There's not a huge amount. In fact, my backup one on that is on page 20, where I called it Pod Pieces. And it's not even anything other than that some of the protagonists in the story put rotty, stinking pod pieces in the antagonist's bedroom, like hidden in vents and stuff. And I thought that was a good rubber and glue, because it's just like, well, torment me. Well, you get to smell barf and dog poop in your room now and not know where it came from. It's my rotting cocoon shell.
Not bad, not bad. My top one was Quentin Quire saying, that guy is a nutter.
Yeah, looking at Flynn on the TV, just happy with how this kid's just tearing an apartment complex apart.
That was my top one. Was that your top one too?
No, my top one was on page 15 with Taskmaster talking to his possible daughter Finesse, where he says, kid, you disappoint me.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, everybody disappoints Taskmaster. By that I mean Dad. We all disappoint Dad.
Speaking of which, Parent of the Year Award, the Reed Richards Award for Good Parenting. It's what we chose last time, Fiona and Flynn's mom, but I'm going to put her on the positive this time because she's getting that insurance money. She's going to make it rain down. And that's a good parent that can make the money come from your child's
traumas.
Power-turning explosion, yes.
Yeah, no, that is a great choice. I almost went that way until I said, wait a minute, Taskmaster is here.
Yeah.
So he's definitely getting the Reed Richards Award for good parenting, if you know what I mean. Because he's Taskmaster.
Parent.
He's beating up his potential daughter and telling her she disappoints him. Stops in long enough to wreck a girl's life and walk away.
Or he might be a good father. I don't know.
In that story, there was a really good moment that I loved where he's interacting with her and he's like, you got the mimic thing and everything. He's like, okay, here's the thing. I got a memory thing. I can't remember stuff, but I do remember how people move. So I'll remember how you move at least. So that was good. This is just him beating up a kid and telling her what a disappointment she is. Taskmaster, I love you.
Most popular and most shunned. Identify the character who is the best and the worst in this issue. My worst is Flynn.
Yes!
He burned down a building. That's it.
Okay, more than that.
I know, but that's what I'm going for.
That's a big one. He jumped into and destroyed an apartment complex and set it on fire and all that. However, how did he get there? He gets out of his egg in his room. Superman poses down and the superhero leaps through his roof.
Yeah.
You don't even know you have super strength. You just know that you're super veiny. What are you doing? Go outside. Don't destroy your house, you stupid punk. God, I hate your punchable stupid face.
Have you ever met a teenager?
Yes, and they're not all Flynn. It's just the worst.
All right, let's talk about the best. I've got Tigra because she put up with Flynn and Quentin.
Okay, good choice.
And that takes a lot.
That does take a lot. I think she was just on vodka icy Slurpee number 2 from the teacher's lounge. So she's just like, here, fill out this paperwork. Go to a school you want to go to. Yeah, I'm in a bikini. I'm a cat girl. But my best choice was Finesse.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep. So Finesse we've talked about all the reasons. Finesse, she's great.
Yep. That brings us to our top grades. Evaluate each issue against all the other issues with members of Power Pack in them. Now, last time, I was very cruel. I started with the bottom 5 of that list, and that was very cruel of me, and I was not being respectful, but I'm going to do it again. Yeah. Spot number 86 is All Hope Lies in Doom Part 1, Too Many Kids. Spot 21, Romance. Spot 88, Loners number 5. Spot number 89, Loners number 3, What Lies Beneath. And of course, our new bottom spot at spot 90, The Awakening, Volume 1, Issue number 1.
So, I am going to posit that this is not the new bottom of the list, because I liked Vanessa's speech.
Yes.
So here's the question. It's not number 91. Is it the new 90? Or is it the new 89? Is it better than What Lies Beneath, where Julie's in the hospital and everyone finds out nothing? Or is it higher yet?
I don't know. This is a lot of work to do from where it left us from the first one. Mm-hmm. And I think that it does something. Vanessa's story is definitely something. There's a story here that doesn't get as bogged down as the first one does with all the other stuff. And it's not trying to say these horrible things in here. So it doesn't suffer from that. But I still think that this is very rough, and I think that it's salvaging a bad storyline, and it's doing the best it can. So I think that we probably are... I don't think that we're that much higher. Maybe this is the new 89. Maybe this goes above Loners number 3. What's your thinking?
It is hard. There's very little that's redeemable about Loners number 3. The only thing that really saves this in my worldview is Finesse talking. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That is a 2-3 page thing of her discussing her past.
Yeah.
I think that does put it above What Lies Beneath, which would put it the new 89. 88, above that, Phil loses it because Mickey and Chris's relationship. Is Finesse's speech enough to bring it up to being that?
I don't know. This still has the horrible...
So many bad stuff.
The horrible chevron at the top with these two characters that I don't care about and who are bad actors and bad representations of what they're trying to be. So I think that there's still some damage and some harm that comes out of this, which I don't think is in those other books we're talking about.
Above or below What Lies Beneath, because I'm thinking where we're at.
I think above that. I'm willing to say this would be the new 89.
I agree. I think it should be the new 89. It has a little bit of redemption, better than What Lies Beneath. So, congratulations, Inhumanity, The Awakening number 2. You're not the bottom of the list. You're not even the second bottom of the list. You're a third place loser.
Woo! So let's go ahead and talk about the beer. Our beer of this issue is The Beast of Both Worlds by Lagunitas Brewing. 8% ABV, which is a little strong, actually.
It's got a little strength to it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm still liking this. This is a bit more of a sour taste in here now, but I'm still enjoying this.
I think it's better than the previous beer we drank. I'm not loving it. It is better, but I'm not loving. Flavors kind of remain consistent. It has the little bit of bitter that is more prevalent now, was present at the beginning an hour ago. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm gonna... God, I don't even know if it's a 3 for me. I don't know if it's a 2.5 or a 3. I'm going to be kind because we're going to be done with this comic book now and give it a 3.
I'm at a 3.5. I think it is still enjoyable. I like the sweet factor that's in here. I think that if I was drinking this at a more even pace, it wouldn't have warmed up and have introduced some negative elements, especially on a warm day. So I'm willing to give it that benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Okay, and a thing that I am always willing to give a benefit of the doubt, is Kid's Perspective. And that's where Rick talks to his 14-year-old daughter, Carrie, about the issue that we just covered. So Rick and Carrie, take it away.
Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Daddy.
Let's talk about The Awakening number 2.
Right.
We did not like the first one that much. What do you think about the second one?
I mean, it didn't have the media thingy. They didn't have the font that was really confusing, and they didn't have the media posting pictures of really gross and stuff that is really unrealistic, and why would you ever post that?
Mm-hmm.
It was better, maybe, but
a little bit?
Yeah.
What did you think of Flynn?
He was a guy, yeah. Another average stereotype guy, little boy. How old is he, like 12, 13?
Sure. Middle schooler, let's say.
He sounds like a stereotypical middle schooler, how the outside world would view a middle schooler.
How about how you view middle schoolers?
Yeah, that too, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really met a middle schooler that was, yeah, okay. I have. Yeah, did you connect with him, having an older sister too, and did you feel anything similar?
Oh, I was horrible. I was a horrible younger brother. But I never had the rage powers, I just had the rage.
Hulk smash. Just a guy. And then it talked it out, and then sister and brother are, like, happy again. Nice little flashback of them, like, pulling each other's hair.
Siblings fight. You've seen that before. Siblings fight. That's normal.
Yeah.
But they both understand that they have powers and that they're going to be going to different schools and they're going to be learning things. And what school is Flynn going to?
Oh yeah, he was going to the Latvarian school.
Yeah, that was inevitable.
Yeah. I like that he also has, like, the biggest stretched out figure of the 4 people standing there.
What did you think about Finesse's story, about her background?
Where she just learned how to protect herself, and then, yeah.
She developed her powers, got to meet Taskmaster, who said he wasn't her father, but actually is her father.
Yeah, liar. I love the little confused, I think you're my father?
It still was a good story that shows that she knows what it's like, right?
Yeah, and she really tried, and she has a good build-up, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about this issue?
The cover looks like it was right after, like, another cover. Like, neither of these things actually happen in the book, but they're acting like they both happened.
Yeah, I made the joke that I kind of would rather have read the stories on the covers than the actual story, but that's me.
Zombie girl comes out of her egg, and everybody discovers it. They all try to fight her, but she's too powerful.
That would have been a cool story.
And she was hidden underneath the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been a better story.
Instead of, oh, here's a picture of me throwing up in the school bathrooms. Peace. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Carrie.
Welcome.
I love you.
Yeah, I don't really know Carrie. Fiona could go to any school. She's probably going to end up at, like, DeVry Institute, honestly. And then, I don't know, she'll fade into obscurity, but she'll probably raise a family. That's my thoughts on her.
Shout out time. We like to recognize those listeners that take the time to write in and leave us a review. This is for episode 188, Infinity, The Hunt, number 3. Clinton Robeson and their podcast, Fan Film Fridays and Coffee and Comics.
Jeff Polier.
Jeremy Daw, who says, I haven't found time to listen to this one yet, but that image is pretty cool looking. The art for this story is a mixed bag for me personally.
Jeremy Wiggins.
NZ Waffles.
Tim Price, the Podcrasher, and their show, The Outcasters.
And we like to thank those wonderful people that give us a little bit of money to keep doing our show. And these are the people over on Patreon. And they include adorably astonishing and amazing Andrew Burns.
Cheerfully cheeky and charming Char Logan.
Challenging, cheesy, and chuckling Charles Gears.
Destructive and devastatingly delightful Damian Witter.
Intelligent, interesting, and innovative Isaac Dark Riddle.
Jaunty, jubilant, and jazzy Jeff Osterritter.
Jesting, joking, and jovial Jeff Polier.
Just jealous and jeweled Jeremy Daw.
Muscly, mighty, and meticulous Matthew Birdsey.
Mythical and magnificent monologuing Matthew Laserwitz.
Steely and salty and steamy Sailor Bear Zodar.
Sad and sickeningly silly Shag Matthews.
Tyrannically terrifying and tame Tim Price.
Way wordy and wobbly Waffles. Next issue, we're going to be covering FF Volume 2, issue number 10, Paint It Black.
Be sure to check out my daughter's comic strip on our website, Just do a search for Jeff and Rick Present Tales of Tales.
And we have some merchandise available on Redbubble. Go to redbubble.com and search for Unpacking the Power of Power Pack.
Jeff and Rick Presents is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience of a big binder full of a bunch of Marvel trading cards in Portland, Oregon. If you would like to interact with us through the magic of the internet, you can do so through Blue Sky at Jeff and Rick Present, our Facebook page, Jeff and Rick Present, our email address, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word, at gmail.com, or at our website, jeffandrickpresent.wordpress.com. Also, our YouTube channel, at Jeff and Rick Present.
And if you would like to help support our show, we are on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word. We are also a proud supporter of the Hero Initiative and will be donating 10% of our Patreon donations to this great cause. We encourage everyone to give what they can to this worthwhile organization that helps the creators who provide us with such great content. Go to heroinitiative.org to find out more.
Please rate and review us wherever you can. Tell your friends about us or share your love for us on social media.
And as always, we want to thank the powerful people in our packs.
My wife Cindy and our daughter Carrie.
My fiancée Hillary and our daughter Aurora. We love you. Until next time. Costumes off.
Our theme music is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod. Also featured in this episode is Nowhere, Instrumental by Sasha Ende. All music is found at incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And now that Flynn has leveled up with fight-like jumps...
Fight-like jumps. Or at least one nosy neighbor grilling some hot dogs spot. Or at least there's one nosy. It just says noisy.
Yeah.
But I can get over that. Pixie ports the people into a pine place to peruse. She manages to subdue him. Finesse manages